into different churches to understand what they do.
Welcome back to Sunrise. When you hear that beat, you know what time it is. It's 18 minutes after 6 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. It's time for the headlines with your news fairy, Tinkerbell. Good morning.
Tinkerbell.
The news fairy.
Yeah.
Great morning.
What news are you bringing us, news fairy?
Well, first news. First news. If you ever see me on bended knee proposing to a gentleman, I've been possessed by a demon. Okay? It's not me. It's not happening. Miss Kitty, I think that it's a different generation that does that. You know what I mean? And no hate, you know, if that's the new thing, that's the new thing. But me an old lady. I'm not doing it.
But TK, but the people must say, listen, as women, you know, we have to take the initiative. We have to go forth and ask what we want and secure it.
You know, these are the same women who are saying that the young men of their generation are too emasculated, or they don't
too
lead,
feminine,
or they're online demanding that they're
in their soft man era.
And I'm like, well, you get what you ask for, you know.
True.
It just
won't women enable stuff. A lot of women enable stuff.
It just won't be me. That's all I'm saying. It won't be me. No judgment. Do you think I'll come to your wedding if it's you propose? But it ain't gonna be me.
I have one son and he ain't gonna do it.
Anyway, focus. Let's focus. Let's jump into the headlines. We're going to headline number 1. Prosecution bemoans high number of cases traversed from previous court terms. So Senior Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, King's Counsel, Jeremy Taylor, on Monday, said he was startled at the fact that of the 982 cases before the Home Circuit Court for this term, 884 are cases brought over from the previous court term. Almost half of those cases brought over are sexual offense matters, ranging from rape, 178 cases, to sexual intercourse with a person under 16, 137 cases. A breakdown of the 982 cases for the Michaelmas term, is that it? Michaelmas. Okay, Michaelmas term showed that alongside the 884 traversed cases, there were only 9 new cases set for the opening day, while 64 new committals are set for dates throughout the new term, along with 20 matters for sentencing and 5 matters which were brought from lower courts via voluntary bills of indictments.
Vol bill.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, it is something that, you know, is fascinating to study. So every new term, these are things that the journalists who cover court, I've never covered court myself, but the journalists who, no, I think I maybe covered a couple of cases. But it's important because you want to see how the justice system is functioning and the efficiency of the system, and whether or not we are, you know, ventilating the matters in an efficient way.
So that justice can be served.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's an important aspect of our jurisprudence. It's a necessary story to explore. And I think that King's Counsel Jeremy Taylor is quite right in looking for possible new modern solutions to the problems of these carryovers. The backlog that we speak about. I know that this particular Chief Justice has been very strident in wanting to modernize the justice system and clear the backlog, because, you know, we often say justice delayed is justice denied, you know? Yeah. And it's we take too long to ventilate these matters.
And then what that now does, it has a ripple effect on our society, because if the citizens feel like there is no proper ventilation in the court system, they want to take matters in their own hands.
Exactly. Because, you know, they might not now come out. Right? But also, you know, and I mean, I'm very strong on these matters of certain people who are facing certain charges getting bail. Like, why are you getting bail? I don't think you can, but
the Constitution says otherwise, so it is for the prosecution to mount reasons why that should not be granted.
Exactly. And so you have a right to bail. You start off with that right, but it can be argued that you ought not to get it, right? However, when you have a serious backlog in the court, it can be reasonably argued that, look here, for the time that this matter is going to be ventilated, my client must get bail. Do you understand?
Yes.
But if we had a more efficient court system where cases were moving faster, more efficiently through the court, then that argument is no longer live. You know, and so I do think that, yes, I mean, I'm willing, I don't know that he's as the current DPP would say, he's in the trenches, as Paula Llewellyn would say. So Jeremy Taylor, as someone in the trenches, would know that possibly this is a solution. I'd love to hear legal minds discuss it to weigh the efficacy of such a change.
Recommendation.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up, police probe threats to persons at school where gun was seized from boy. The St. Elizabeth police are probing alleged threats issued at workers at the primary school where a submachine gun was found in the bag of a 7-year-old boy last Thursday. The child's father was taken into custody on the same day of the seizure, according to head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Superintendent Coleridge Minto. The child and his siblings are now in the care of the Child Care and Family Services Agency, the CPFSA. Superintendent Minto appealed to persons in the area to refrain from interfering with any witnesses or any other persons connected to the investigations. The submachine gun has been sent to a forensic lab for testing. Superintendent Minto underscored that any exposure of such weapons to children cannot be good for them and appealed to parents and other citizens to not expose children to any form of moral danger.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those cases where you really feel for the child. And the influence of adult things on the child, and the child has just been the child exists in an ecosystem, and you're aware that when a child is deemed by the state to be in need of care and protection because of situations at home, you do know that their siblings are also deemed to be in need of care and protection from the state.
Well,
so,
because it's the same home.
Because it's the same home. So if a child has siblings in the space, then those siblings are
also
now
going to be taken.
Removed.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But it is unfortunate that, as Superintendent Minto is now saying, that they are now investigating threats
to the teachers. That's crazy to me.
Which is wild to me. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
There is a view that, why you call the police?
So what should they have done?
Oh, you should have had the child just go around with the submachine gun.
No.
What do you mean? Why would you call the police?
Why you call the police? Call the parent. I mean, the parent come and collect it.
Oh, shame.
That's a view.
George is going to act like it's a water gun.
No, that's a view, you know.
Oh.
Shame on you for calling the necessary authorities and keeping the child and the school safe. Teachers, good job.
I mean, there are serious implications for these types of things, you know, because...
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, school have to close because, you know, people afraid to come out. You know, and then now there's no learning loss as a result of this. So now it becomes a Ministry of Education
people's children
problem.
are now suffering as a result.
Yes.
You know, guys, I don't know. It's just sad.
But this is, again, this is the type of society that we're creating, little by little, incrementally, and then you end up in one situation where you wonder, how did we get here?
When did we get here? When Jamaica turned so... I can't believe this is my little Jamaica, really?
It's been happening incrementally, little by little, over time, and we... You know, as a nation, allow it. So, you know.
Reaping what we sow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. That's what I have for you until I return at 7 a.m.
To sprinkle your fairy dust.
I don't know about that, but I'll see what I can do, right?
Your news fairy dust.
I don't know about all of that, but, you know.
TK says, I'm not proposing to nobody.
It's not happening.
Doing it.
It's not happening, you know. And I'm all for woman power and rights and justice and equity and all the things, you know, but you're proposing to me.
Traditional.
You're proposing to me.
I'm just happy that I have a video that I can look back on every now and again of me down on my knee, not no woman on her knee.
But what about the men who propose nowadays, TK, and don't even go down on their knee? Them sit down on the pan. Yeah, like how you behave yourself now. Go and hold this. Or
No, but to each their own.
Like what? Like
Out of
hold that. Yeah, you know.
No, sir, nobody's doing that.
Oh, really?
Nobody's doing that.
Nobody's gonna. They on a dinner table. Yeah, hold this.
Nobody's doing that.
All right, like how you behave yourself for a long time.
Imagine Paul, you know, me as skirt.
No, as a bad feeling. Long story short, it's up next. And long story short, you just need to keep it right here on Sunrise. Skirt.
The internationally acclaimed Onstage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
John Mark!
Celine, where you going? We can't say we're a friend now. Celine. We have to take on the road.
Yeah, man, we have to take out the same way. All right, Lord, thank you so much for this day.
Me, I do the work. Yeah. And the people, them accept it. Clarendon, Mandeville. But now we get to go into the inner city of Kingston.
I can't wait to learn more as we go across Jamaica into different churches to understand what they do.
Look who we have in the cut. No, today episode I got nice. Legends, Senator, my longtime brethren, the great, all-star, the king, and the man himself. Salute! You know, as man, we're not too go specialist, and that's the pinnacle of the problem.
We want some new era.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life. Lie!
You work till you win.
It was pandemonium. Country people can relate to me I talk about.
What you think about me no matter, you know. What matter to me is what me think about myself.
Man United, you know. I don't care what man wants to say.
You know, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, man. You finished?
Yes, we finished.
The Cut is brought to you by Flow.
So he called me on the phone and he's like, hey babe, you know, I just signed with Augustone FC. I'm going to play football at town and I'm going to go move to town and this is my last night in Trelawney. So, I need to see you for the last night. And I said, oh, and he must say, listen, you need to leave that modeling competition there and come home. So as you can imagine, that went straight to me. Of course, me I left the competition for go because they need to see me. And so, I make up one story, I'm going to tell the people and the organizers that, yo, you know, me have this family emergency. I'm going to need to drop out of the competition. I'm sorry, and this and that. Fine. Get them little things, them, jump on one bus, straight to Trelawney, reach a Falmouth. When I got to Falmouth, it was probably about 8:30. Them time there. So, of course, I'm excited to see him. I take out my phone for calling. No answer.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Long story short, well, I have many stories, let me tell you. Some that I can't tell right here in the morning time. I got to talk about it at sunset, okay? But guess what? Welcome to Sunrise. If you're just tuning in, good morning to you. All the schoolers, good morning. All the mummies, daddies, aunties, uncles, good morning. Good morning to all the security officers across the island as well. And I would also like to say good morning to all the hospital staff, you know, the ancillary staff, nurses, doctors, radiologists, you know what I mean? Yeah, the extra people. I'm going to say extra.
No, what do you call them? Where your mother, they put anesthetic.
Nurse anesthetist.
Yes, make the people go sleep.
Boop, you're out, just like that, I gotta tell you. Now, our next guest is the Chief Visionary Officer at 180 Vision. His name is Daniel T. Edwards, and he's here this morning to talk to us about long story short. Long story short, I don't see them around the place. Long story short, it's all about Sunrise. Now, it's the Caribbean's first and only bi-monthly storytelling live music experience, and the concept is simple. 4 storytellers share a true story about themselves under the theme for the night in what? 7 minutes or less. So welcome Daniel to Sunrise to tell us more.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm great. This is 2 of my favorite people in the world.
Thank you.
It's surreal, you know, watching these stars shine.
you know, say, what is it? Wow.
Look at you guys.
But Daniel, you know, we often say it just in our own Jamaican parlance. Long story short, so and so and so. So talk to us about where the idea germinated and how did that come to you and why did you decide to pursue this dream?
So long story short, 9 years ago, there was a burnt out, disgruntled life insurance agent who was struggling to find meaning and purpose in his life. Until a man named Kevin Wallen said to a group of 5 of us, tell me a true story about yourself in 7 minutes or less. So we're in a circle and each person just told different stories and right away it's like an explosion just take off in my head and I said, this is it. And I became obsessed with the idea. I've been working on the idea since 2015, and then in 2019, it came to fruition, coincidentally, on the 100th birthday of Miss Lou.
Wow.
Wow.
And we just, after the second show, we just quit my 9 to 5 same time. I just knew. And then the COVID hit.
And you're like, wow.
Yeah, so long story short, I'm on the couch about 2 weeks and can't come out of the couch.
Long story short, Mr. Stressful.
And then I said, hold on, we could go, everybody was doing these lives, everybody was doing Fat Joel and people that do IG live. And I said, we can go up on IG live. And then people like Tami Chin came on board.
Nice.
Everald from the Nomads, Pale Face, all kind of from England. And it grew exponentially over the live platforms and then we came back. Outside.
But I remember vividly having a conversation with you where you're like, I have this idea. It's called Long Story Short. And boy, from them time, they're supposed to come on it. And I'm like, Virgin, I don't have no story to tell. I'm not that interesting. And I've been telling him like for years, I'm not that interesting.
You'd be amazed to see.
I'm triggered right now.
Like,
the brother has man.
No, Dennis, you have a lot to share.
But the thing is, like I was telling you, I never got the impression at the time that, yeah man, this is something that you want to do and just like have it explode like this. Like it was something that, this is something I want to introduce
Dennis, we're
to the
both
Kingston
Scorpios. We don't
scene.
anything small.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the thing that I loved about that time, what you were thinking was that Kingston needs something different.
Yeah, other than eating out every time.
It can't be the same thing. People need somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
Like, what has been the reception like when you see people now have something else?
The reception has been great. I still found that a lot of people were a bit short-sighted and couldn't understand the concept in the beginning. It was so very like a no-brainer to me, and then I realized, wow, man, I forgot to take time to really translate this because I would say to people, I have a storytelling showcase. And then when I say, what do you mean, poetry? No, storytelling. You mean like Miss Lou? No, just telling a straight conversational story. I mean, I understand.
But Jamaicans full of stories all the time. Did you see the man the other day who was recounting how he saved the lady? Look here, Rursker. Is that what it is? A Rursker?
Yeah.
Backside 2 times. You're dead. We are such animated
storytellers. It took a little while
so
to get
talk
it.
to us, Daniel, though. It's bi-monthly. So for persons watching this morning, who this is the first time they're hearing about Long Story Short, when is the next installment? And is it something, that you take across the island, or where is the home of Long Story Short?
So we are now at Bridget Sandals at 1 Aberdeen Road.
Oh, hi, Bridget. Hi, Auntie Patsy.
So Bridget came on board and said, no, man, this thing here, we see how do this thing for 5 years now.
Yes.
Come, I'll boss you. Use my place.
Nice.
So we're there, and because our audience realized that the garden setting was the ideal setting for a Long Story Short. The greenery, the warmth. So we have our 5th anniversary next Thursday, the 26th of September, 8 p.m.
Okay.
We have people like Scatter Burrell.
Ha! He has a lot of stories to
familiar
tell.
with him? You familiar with that person?
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Kevin Wallen, the person who gave me the idea.
Hey, Kevin, I know Kevin.
Yes. We have Essina. We have Mozane, who won Rising Star in 2022.
Okay.
We have a young comedian who just signed to Christopher Johnny Daly, Elias Fennell. He's actually here right now.
Oh, nice.
He's coming on board. And we also have Panic.
Panic?
Panic.
Panic is a musician who was incarcerated for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
He came back and he's now making waves. So he performed last month and now he's going to tell his story.
So how do you go about choosing the people who tell the story, so who tell their story on Long Story Short? Because like Dennis said, some people might be saying, but Daniel, I mean, me not have no story to tell. I'm not a comedian. Is it for comedians? And how do you go about choosing? Because maybe there's somebody watching right now say, Daniel, me have a story to tell. Long story short, I want to be booked for the event.
So first and foremost, the slogan of Long Story Short is everybody has a story. What's yours?
Yeah.
So the point is that every single, there's no celebrity here. Everybody depend on equal ground because everybody have a story to tell. Nobody is boring if you take the time to listen. Right? So that's the first thing. Then no. We have a vast network of people. We used to sell insurance for over 10 years. And we have a vast network within our group. We reach out to those people. And then also people reach out to us.
Yes.
How we think turn up now.
Wow. Reach out. So if persons want to be featured on Long Story Short, where can they find you? How do they contact you?
At Long Story Short Jamaica, IG, TikTok, email, longstoryshortjamaica@gmail, number 2803071.
Okay. I think Brown Man has a story to tell.
Brown Man has...
Brown Man. No. You know who has a story to tell? D'Andrew, Jesus, and Mario. Yeah, they have a story to tell. I have a story to tell.
Brown Man, especially like in our morning, when him come with beer matter in our eye.
Yeah, okay.
You got a story to tell,
no, or the mark on his neck. He got a story to tell.
So my question is...
I have a story to interrupt.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so I heard stories, and I'm a story girl. First and foremost, love Long Story Short. There all the time. It's great. Love it. I'll be there next week. All right, focus. We have to get your stories. So here's a little game, real quick. We have 2 minutes.
Okay.
Everybody is involved. I have a genre of the story that you will tell, and I have words that you must use. Daniel, you choose the genre. Tell us quick what you got.
Comedy. Oh, perfect.
Comedy.
Oh,
you
Lord.
choose the first word. You do the first sentence. First sentence. What's the word? Spoon. A comedy story with the word spoon, and go.
Well, one time, the gentleman was lotion in my foot, and my big toenail dropped off in his hand. And I took a spoon and spooned it up off the ground because I was very ashamed. But that's true. The toenail, you won't bring me down. You won't bring me down. Yeah, man, you won't bring me down. But as I'm good as.
Do I need to continue?
No, you don't need to continue.
What you never eat it?
The toenail flick off, guys. Flick off.
Bread.
Good thing I didn't eat.
Comedy story with bread.
A comedy story with bread? There was one time where I was in high school. It was grade 8, and there was this youth, and he had a funny shaped head, and we called him Breadhead.
Oh my gosh!
And the name never left.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
That was good.
Breadhead. Breadhead, anyway, that big up yourself.
Daniel, give me a new.
It was
Mystery.
A new
mystery.
Mystery? Real quick. One word.
Mystery.
1 minute probably.
Yesterday.
All right.
Mystery.
Mystery.
Yesterday, it was a mystery. Oh, my knee just cut. I dropped both like a breadfruit. Yeah, as a mother, as a new mother. But see my scar there, guys. I dropped both yesterday.
Then it's mystery.
But I'm telling you, it's a mystery to me. Because I thought that the bouncer was not in the study. It's a mystery. You come at me, guys. Do me, not as a mother for the battle scar. A mystery. No, tell the truth, Dennis. Look about to take a duck in at the house and them something. You understand? But it's a mystery, but you understand, as a girl, may have tried through, as a soldier. Yeah.
You know what is a mystery?
As a big woman with all them cut up on my knee. You know,
It's a mystery.
What's your word, Dennis?
It's a mystery. Oh, she drops her heart and her knee never broke.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Daniel, what you say? No, you can't take them on as storytellers, no?
Well, Miss Kitty is supposed to be on the show in November, so she decided.
Okay.
So we'll wait for her.
Okay.
Wow.
And the theme is when it all falls down. So, I'm telling you, man.
Come in with
The universe is just working. The universe.
How serendipitous.
Yes.
But let me ask you again. You said the 26th.
26th.
What time do we start?
8 o'clock sharp.
All right. Is there a cost to get in?
Only 2,500 pre-sold, 3,000 at the gate. You can get your tickets at spurropen.com, SPURR open.com.
I like that. I like that. Well, congratulations to you. How far me and Daniela come from Monetary Days, right?
I was our first manager, you know.
Yeah.
And me say you can, if you just believe in yourself, just dream.
And
she said, really?
But I gotta tell you, I'm very proud of you, very happy for you. And I'm encouraging persons to come out and enjoy. A good laugh does a lot, right? And we need more laughter and more fun spaces. Nice, good, clean fun. And so if you have a story to tell, please reach out to Long Story Short Jamaica and go tell your story.
Everyone has a story to tell. What's yours? Our guest has been Daniel T.
Can I please big up my sponsors? Bridget Sanders, Red Stripe, Far Eye Films, Sunra Distributors, Irie Alkaline Spring Water, St. Mary's Banana Chips, Buzzworld, SpurOpen.com, and Knitmac.
All right.
Big up on yourself.
You're not putting CVM because we're there.
And CVM.
Right there.
Yesterday.
Tafari Edwards, Chief Visionary Officer at 180 Vision. Coming up next, we're going back to our Rush and Tutor class will be in session. When we return, it's still sunrise.
You see that?
Yeah.
A boom, bang. You know, it would be funny to have Jamaican colloquial expressions in Russian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bunga banga. Bunga banga.
And a one-time monkey want to
one's wife. You know what I mean? You understand? Cross, Hagari, me, he's a
comrade.
Yes, you understand. I told you. You understand? Right back. Don't move.
The higher the monkey climb,
the more
he
exposes. You understand?
He'll be right back.
I gotta tell you.
So good and the picture pristine. More content, new features in.
So forward, make me show you the print.
Station, them a bring HD to your TV.
Yeah, for you, and for me.
For real, higher image quality, interactivity.
Recommendations for your personality. New technology.
We never get the first, so we in the top 3. Oh, yeah, me. Can see straight TV screen. And the students check in. Never miss a lesson, cause the audio clean.
One listening.
Emergency messaging with geo-targeting. One any parish when the storm is coming.
More content for highlight we.
Future brighty.
I'm glad you agree.
BCJ, them set the scene. Sound so good and the picture pristine. More content, new features in.
So forward, make me show you the print. Next Gen TV. Next Gen TV.
Get money from any MoneyGram or Western Union any time of day, wherever you are. Don't know the link up today. Life is better with Link.
The time by Link is 6:45.
The Quartz Home Event is happening now! Great deals on top brands with up to 30% off furniture and up to 20% off appliances and electronics. Get an 8-piece king bedroom bundle for only $129,997, or a 3-piece smart TV combo for $27,999, or a free gift with select appliance purchases. Shop today and pay later. Just choose your terms and make your first payment in 30 days. Don't miss the Quartz Home Event. Quartz, bringing value home. Offers end September 30. Conditions apply.
You know my heart goes crazy when you take the list of time. Let's explore our love.
Mr. Schoolboy Football, September 7 to December 14 on CVM TV.
Thanks for staying with us here on Sunrise. We'll wipe out with we're back. Another segment. By the way, good morning to all our friends on YouTube. Divine Ray says, no, I do not believe a woman should propose to a man. We want equality when it's convenient for us in certain spaces, and it not go so. Let me see. She says, I'm a girly girl. Me proposing makes me less feminine. Tahara Grant says, I almost throw in the towel. Sharon Stewart says, I'm from the old school. That would not do. And Odette says, as a woman, proposing to a man lowers your standards, in my opinion.
Oh, wow.
All right. Thank you very much. Keep the comments coming in the comment section.
And I'd like the men to also comment. You know, I see Divine commenting, Odette commenting on Sharon. I want the guys say. I wonder what the Russians have to say about that.
I wonder what they would say. Speaking of Russian, Prikodi I uchi vmest tsunami na Sunrise. Come and learn with us on Sunrise. It's time to dive into our Russian language for the month of September. We'll be learning the basics of hopefully taking us up to intermediate Russian. This week's lesson is on numbers in the time. Our teacher, firefighter Shamir Walters is here. Shamir!
Welcome.
Over to you. What you got for us this morning?
Thank you very much again for having me, guys. So, I want to show you the similarities in terms of the structure of the numbers of the counting system in Russian and in English.
I'm very curious.
All right. So, like in English, where we count from 1 to 19, and then all the numbers are different. Then from 20 upwards, each tens. You just add 1 up to 9. It's pretty much the same in Russian. So,
okay.
So as you can see here, I'm going to go through them relatively quickly, but clearly. So we have the first number, Adin, 1. Adin. Then Dva, 2. Dva. Yeah. Dva. Excellent. Then we have Dva, 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. That's 11 there. 12. 13. 14. Молодец means excellent. 15. 16. 17.
I am not a shitnazi.
My pens are clean.
I'm just going to hold up my hand and say 1. How much this, sir? 2. 3. 4. Okay? Because it's just not it. Okay, what's oh my God.
All right, so as I said, once you reach 19, which is Divinatsit, then
the Natsit means teen.
Correct.
Okay.
And the Natsit indicate that it's in the teens.
We say what's it? So what's it?
Maybe that derives from Russian.
What's it? True.
Yeah, what's it?
Yeah, what's it not? Yeah, true,
right?
Yeah.
Need to do some research.
Yeah. Truly, what's it?
Remember, our language has been influenced by
many
Russian, German,
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. So
what's it?
So that's it, right?
I know that's it.
All right, so after 19, then we have we're going by the tens now.
Right.
So you have Dvadsit, which is 20. Dvadsit. So it's like Dva. Then, so in the tens, instead of Natsit, you had Tsat. So it's pretty much TSAT. So Dvadsit, 30, 40, which is 40, 50. So when you reach 50, it's different now. So 50 is basically, 5 is 5, 10 is 10. So it's saying half of 10. 5 is half of 10. So that's 50 basically. So 50. Yeah. So
which is what I was waiting for, because like with some languages, like how they get bigger incrementally, like it's like with French, like 2010.
Yes, I wanted to check into that so I could explain the differences, but I didn't get to do that. But yes, some languages, including German, does work like that as well.
So it's like you have to do an addition in your head.
Precisely, precisely.
Right. So this is one of them.
And at the same time, it composes of some of the features, but it still has similarities with English language in terms of the counting scheme.
So like, how do you say, so go back to 20, 20. So then how do you say
25?
21 or 25?
20 adin. So 20 adin, 23, 24. So it's just from 1 to 10, or sorry, from 1 to 9. You're adding that. You're counting the 20, 30, and then 1 to 9. Okay. So it's pretty simple.
Okay.
It's pretty simple.
Okay.
Right? So I went all the way up to 100.
100 is what?
Store.
Store?
Store.
Store.
So it's pretty much a STO, but with the Russian language, I was explaining where there is no stress on the O, you tend to get an A sound from the O.
So how do you know when there's a stress?
One of the challenges of learning the language.
Yeah, what?
So how do you say 1,000?
Tisicha.
Tisicha.
Yeah.
So 2,000 is two.
So there's a rule now. So with feminine, so tisicha, it's a feminine noun, right? So 1,000 is a feminine noun.
Okay.
So when a feminine noun is being multiplied by from 2 to 4, you're gonna say dve, so dva becomes dve tisichi. So the noun is inflex, so it changes, the ending changes. So dve tisichi, 3 tisichi, 4 tisichi. But once it reaches 5 upwards, then you drop the A altogether, so it becomes piat tisich.
So how do you say the year 2024? Like
2024?
Yeah, we're in the year 2024.
Okay, v этом году 2024 году. So you'd have to use cardinal number to represent, so you're going to say fourth, the 2024th year.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how you use a cardinal number to represent the last digit. So 2024th. So мы в 2024 году.
Mighty God.
That's how I say it.
Mighty God.
Yeah, that's on DJ this. I just put it on.
Mighty God.
Yeah.
So, okay. So if it's now 6:54, how do I say, what time is it?
Yes.
All right. So in Russian, there are 2 ways. Remember I told you guys that you have formal and informal?
Yeah.
So the formal...
formal and informal.
I'm telling you, right?
Wow.
I'm telling you. So if I come to you guys out of respect, right? I would say который час.
Который час.
Который час means...
Который час.
Yes, exactly. And
который час.
Который час. So that's the formal way.
Yeah.
But if I have a friend, I say, no, what time is it? I'll say, сколько времени? Сколько времени?
Сколько времени?
Yes.
Сколько времени?
Exactly. So it's asking how much time it is.
Сколько времени?
Сколько времени? Exactly. So that's the
informal.
Informal. So that is saying how much of time. Where который час is asking you which hour it is.
Oh.
Which hour.
And then now to say it's 7 o'clock.
No, sorry. Sometimes my brain automatically goes to...
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
All of this, I tell you, my wig is squeezing me at this side.
All right, so if it's in the morning, you'd say the 7 часов утра. 7 часов утра. So it's 7 hours of the morning. It's what the literal translation is. Yeah, so 7 часов утра. So if it's in here, so утро, right? Morning. Утро. So the O would be changed to an A to represent saying of the morning. So next week I'm going to touch on cases, because Russian is a language that uses case. It doesn't use like word order, SVO. It doesn't use that. So I'm going to touch on that for you guys next week. So you
so how you say evening?
Вечер.
Вечер.
That is
morning.
Утро.
Утро. Afternoon or day?
День.
And
night? Ночь. So what I want you to understand as well now. So if you're saying in the evening, вечер becomes вечером. So it's saying in the evening. So if you're saying in the evening, in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the night, these are affected by cases. So Vecher becomes Vecherum, Utra becomes Utrum, Dien becomes Dnyom, and Noch becomes Nochu.
I need to send up his name to Andrew Holness for an award. Like really and truly.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, what's it? What's it?
That's it.
That's
I
can tell you.
I want you to say, look into that camera and say, you've never seen a sunrise quite like this. Ha! Bet you can't say that.
In Russian?
Yeah.
I've never seen a sunrise
You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Но я уверен, что вы никогда не видели такой sunrise, как это.
What's wrong with it? Yeah, it sounds good with I. Have a buzz.
Yeah.
Yes, that me. Yeah. What's it? Well, thank you so very much. You're absolutely amazing. And what you have
Self-taught.
done. Yeah.
Self-taught.
Big deal.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Congratulations and thank you so much for sharing. Our Russian tutor has been Shamir Walters, firefighter by profession. And trust me, Russian by all other accounts.
Russian.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. Hey.
The closet.
Before we go to a break, the CVM Sunrise crew would like to take a moment of silence, though, to honor Shamir's firefighting partner, Shahini Nelson, that passed away recently. And our girl Toni K. Dawkins will be with the news shortly.
JN Bank Small Business Loans is linked to so many stories of ordinary Jamaicans and their extraordinary success.
We're very proud to have helped small, medium, and micro businesses come to life and thrive over the years.
It's a demonstration of our strong belief in the business ambitions of Jamaicans. Come, talk to us. Tell us your business. Let's start a partnership and let your business plans appear in real life.
Attention motorists, it's time to switch to the T-Tag on Highway 2000 East-West. Automated T-Tag lanes reduce the cost of collecting and managing cash at our toll plazas, and drivers of Class 1 and Class 2 vehicles who use the T-Tag pay a lower toll fare than those who use the manually operated toll booths. These motorists also get their 10th trip through any one toll plaza free. The T-Tag makes it quicker, more cost-efficient, and safer for our customers. So switch to the T-Tag today and experience the convenience.
Look who we have in the cut. No, today episode I got nice. Legends, Senator, my longtime brethren, the great all-star, the king, and the man himself. Salute! You know, as man, we're not to go as specialists, and that's the pinnacle of the problem.
We want some new era.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life. You lie.
You work till you wake.
It was pandemonium. Country people can relate to me, I talk about.
What you think about me no matter, you know. What matter to me is what me think about myself.
Man United, I don't care what man want to say.
You know, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, man.
You finished?
Yes, we finished.
The Cut is brought to you by Flow.
The Time by Hyundai or Hyundai 5 free payments, 3 years free insurance, or 3 years free petrol bonus is
7 o'clock.
Welcome to Morning News. I'm TK Dawkins. The second city will have much work to do as St. James is still leading the tally for murders. Over the past few days, brutal shootings have crippled the smooth flow of business, with one incident occurring in the heart of Montego Bay. But the police believe things will soon change for the better, adding their strategies are improving. Here's Trisha Gay Kelly.
A blanket of gloom now covers the Hurlock community in St. James after 2 residents were killed and another 2 injured Friday night. One of the deceased has been identified as O'Neill Howe, also known as Redneck, a shopkeeper in the community. The other man is yet to be identified. According to Councillor Caretaker for the Springmount Division, Jodian Colomathi, residents are now fearful. She says the incident was quite shocking to her.
For the longest time, we have been a quiet community. It has been a minute since we have had an uproar in the area. The last uproar that we had was when a young lady was brutally murdered at her home. So to see this coming now, it is basically shocking, and it has now laid fear and has driven our community into mourning.
Colomathi is urging community members to share any information they may have to assist the police in their investigation efforts.
I can say that this is not a behavior that we hope to condone or we will condone moving forward. So I would urge any resident or the residents with any form of information to work closely with our police team so we can bring these woodlums to justice.
The incident follows another brutal murder in the parish capital Thursday evening as a man in a public passenger vehicle was shot while waiting for the taxi to leave. The incident occurred moments after the police delivered their report on crime in the parish at the monthly municipal meeting. Operations Officer Deputy Superintendent Linroy Edwards reported that the parish was still leading in murders.
Whilst we are leading the country as far as reduction in murder is concerned, we are still the #1 division in the island as it relates to murder figures. However, our strategies that we have been tweaking, implementing consistently, we are ambitious for 2025.
Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force is still in mourning following a fatal crash which resulted in the death of 2 young police constables on Sunday. The police were responding to reports of suspects in Yorktown, Clarendon when the incident occurred. Courtney Lewis tells us more.
Investigations continue into the deadly crash which claimed the lives of 2 on-duty police constables on Sunday evening. It is reported that at about 6:30, the team was traveling along the Yorktown Main Road in Clarendon when the driver lost control of the service vehicle which crashed into a ditch. Commander for the Area 3 Police Division, ACP Calvin Allen, gave the details of the incident.
Some members of the operational support team out of Area 3 were on patrol in the Yorktown area. We have a state of public emergency in progress. The initial report speaks to the vehicle developing a skid and overturn. Sadly, from that, we lost 2 of 5 members that were part of that operational team.
The deceased have since been identified as Constable Sean Atkinson and Constable Jessica West, both 22-year-old police assigned to the Clarendon Division. Reports are other police, including a sergeant and a constable, also sustained injuries during the crash and were transported to the Mapen Hospital.
The 3 other persons are currently being treated at this very hospital that we are at now. And the family members are getting the necessary psychosocial support. The JCF chaplain is right beside me here and his team, and they are providing that.
The JCF is saddened by the incident, expressing sympathies to the families and friends of the crash victims.
Also, on behalf of our Commissioner of Police, express our deepest condolences to the families of those members and to our grieving colleagues across Area 3 and the JCF generally. We want to also express our profound thanks to the medical team here at the Mapen Hospital for the very quick response that they have provided and are currently providing.
Vice Chair of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucien Jones, while expressing condolences, says the surge in road fatalities is disturbing and alarming.
So far for this year, we have had 265 deaths and 18 for the month of September already. This is not good. And then to add to this, the death of law-abiding policemen and a woman.
He maintains individuals should adhere to road safety rules and use protective measures while traveling. Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
And in sports, a spectacular weekend of schoolboy football saw 52 goals being scored across 6 games. Kingston College took the opportunity to bolster their goal differential after hammering Cumberland 18-0 at the Stadium East. Jamaica College issued a strong warning to their rivals with an 11-0 win over Ascot, while St. George's slammed 10 unanswered goals by Papine High. Elsewhere, Excelsior recorded an impressive 7-1 victory over Bridgeport High. Cavalier will aim to maintain their lead in Group A of the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup when they face Haitian team Real Hope FA today at the National Stadium in Kingston. Cavalier currently lead Group A on maximum 6 points, having defeated fellow Jamaican team Mount Pleasant 2-0 in their opening match before slamming Police FC from Trinidad and Tobago 4-1 in their second match. Mount Pleasant currently sits second in Group A and will next be in action on September 26 when they face Police FC at the Atterbolden Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago. The other Jamaican team, Arnett Gardens, currently sit at the bottom of Group A, having suffered a 2-1 loss to Mount Pleasant in their opening encounter. The Junglists will play away to Police FC on Thursday at the Hazley Crawford Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago before hosting the Haitians Real Hope at the National Stadium in Kingston next Wednesday. And that's it for Morning News. Join us again at noon for more from our news and sports desk. I'm TK Dawkins. More Sunrise after this.
The internationally acclaimed Onstage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Look who we have in the cut. No, today episode I got nice. Legends, Senator, my longtime brethren, the great all-star, the king, and the man himself. Salute! You know, as man, we're not to go as specialists, and that's the pinnacle of the problem.
We want some new era.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life. Lie!
You work till you win.
It was pandemonium. Country people can't relate to me I talk about.
What you think about me no matter, you know. What matter to me is what me think about myself.
Man United, you know. I don't care what man want to say.
You know, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, man.
You finished?
Yes, we finished.
The Cut is brought to you by Flow.
John Mark!
Celine, what going? We can't say we're a friend now. Celine. We have to take on the road.
Yeah, man, we have to take on the same way. All right, Lord, thank you so much for this day.
Me, I do the work.
Yeah.
And the people them accept it. Clarendon, Mandeville. But now we get to go into the inner city of Kingston.
I can't wait to learn more as we go across Jamaica into different churches to understand what they do.
Ward off death. Obey the road code. A message from the Road Safety Unit in the Island Traffic Authority.
Thanks for staying with us right here on Sunrise. Well, since the start of the month of September, there have been a number of road fatalities that have garnered national attention and raised concern. everything from the student who lost his life on the very first day of school, on the way to school, to the recent crashes involving members of the constabulary, and as well as the Eastwood Park incident. Education and Information Officer at the Island Traffic Authority. He is Dante Matthews. He's always willing to talk to us. He joins us this morning to discuss the current situation on our roads, as well as the possibility of a crash-free Jamaica. Dante, welcome to Sunrise.
Good morning, Dante.
Thanks for having me. I'm doing well. You?
Dante, when I look at the numbers, it's depressing.
Depressing.
And I think one of the most depressing parts of it is the fact that we're having more crashes than accidents. A lot of what, is reported based on, my knowledge and reading, and it can be avoided.
Yeah.
Dante, what more? Because the traffic authority, you have a very robust social campaign going on. We see the ads.
National Road Safety Council, Ministry of Transport, Jamaica Constabulary Force.
So how much more?
Everybody's trying to do their thing.
Yes, and so it's now up to us as road users to adhere to the road code, to ensure that we pay attention on the road and have that change in our behavior.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the crashes that we're seeing are attributable to human error.
Yes, yes, and human negligence. Yeah.
When you study the numbers, I mean, because you look at things from a more macro perspective, in many instances, we're looking at isolated instances and but from a macro perspective, standing back, what are some of the patterns that you are seeing? I mean, we know, for instance, in Westmoreland, a lot of bike accidents, and it is, and that is accounting for a number of the fatalities. But what are some of the other patterns that you notice?
All right, so you mentioned the motorcyclists, especially in Western Jamaica. We're looking at our young people accounting for a lot of the crashes as well. So when we look at the fatalities, the 20 to 29, that age group, they're accounting for a lot of the fatalities. Up to this morning, we have recorded 268 fatalities, and 66 of those fatalities are young people. We're looking at parishes such as you mentioned, Westmoreland, Hanover. When it comes to Centre now, especially the hotspot areas, we're seeing a lot of speeding as the number one cause, followed by overtaking improperly and pedestrians walking out or standing in the middle of the road.
It is so frustrating. I mean, again, if we're staying on Westmoreland, you read stories of 2 bike men perishing as a result of a head-on collision. And I just can't understand how you got into a head-on collision, 2 bike men. But there are so many other accidents that are one vehicle accidents. Are you seeing a lot of those? You're not crashing into any other vehicle.
They're crashing into a wall or a light post. And usually when you see a crash like that, it can be a combination of different factors, including distracted driving, maybe fatigue. Those things also play a factor in crashes.
Is it that we need to start from, say, high school, right? Or maybe even, I don't even know, primary school, something to engender that behavior change coming up.
Road use.
Because I don't know if all of these social marketing campaigns are working on the drivers that we have now. Should we do something to start from the very embryonic stages so that it is inculcated in them, Dennis, from them little? So by the time they get to being a driver, they would have had that kind of conditioning.
Yes, and it's interesting that you mentioned that, because we do have a public education program in schools. So we start with as early as infant, they're pedestrians, passengers, so we start with them. And just last week, even tomorrow, we're heading to schools. So, the school term has begun. We have been out there in schools. We resume this week. We have a program in high schools as well, the Learner Driver Education Program. We launched it at York Castle last year, January, where we go to the schools. We teach them the road code, road safety, the process to get the learner's permit, and just general road traffic act and regulations. And a part of that program, we allow them to sit the road code test on campus to get their learner's permit. So they have been trained from as early as possible, so that when they go out there, when they leave school, they have the mindset of being a good driver. And the schools they're receptive. We'll be doing a couple more schools this term, and that's something that we really enjoy doing, because it tells us that, and interestingly, parents at the school, teachers also come on
and benefit,
they benefit from this program because they realize the importance of, you know, learning the road code. It's very important that you know the road code.
Let me ask you, Dante, quickly, because there are worse things than death, right? And accidents and crashes rip families apart, change lives. Do you have any empirical data in terms of, outside of death, what else is happening? Because losing an arm, losing a leg, being, you know, paralyzed from the neck down, or from
vegetables.
Do we have those that? Because maybe, Dennis, if persons understood these things are new, the numbers, they would probably take a step back and ease off the gas.
Yes, I don't have the numbers now, but I know, working closely with the Ministry of Health, and doctors can tell you that the amount of crashes or victims of crash that come into the hospitals. You see, and even when we go out, we show photos of motorcyclists losing toes and when they don't wear the helmet, the hand, everything. So they can tell you that sometimes the cost to care is great. Because you're talking about somebody who used to work and provide the breadwinner in the family, no longer will be able to provide for the family because they are now in a bad state. And then, so that's the shift we're planning to make now. The focus we're trying to look forward to, where we create ads now showing, we want to play with the mind. So for example, a father who has a daughter, we want to, you know, appeal to the father's emotion. You have your daughter at home. You don't want your daughter to call another man daddy.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes,
you
slow
don't
down.
want your wife to call another man. So because, and I said, and I'm saying males because the males are accounting for the highest, over 85%.
Wow.
So that's the reason.
It's even like the unfortunate situation with the 4-month-old baby. I think it was Westmoreland where that crash happened. And I'm saying a family is now plunged into grief forever and ever because of that accident, right? And also when these accidents happen or crashes happen, the financial burden that is now on the family.
Because you know the money to care, to take care of,
It's just not worth it, guys. It's not worth it.
The reality is that a lot of what the ITA and other stakeholders can do is moral suasion because, I mean, how much more can you do? But aside from moral suasion, there is the legislation. The legislation has become much more strict. And the punishments are greater and everybody was bawling and whatever. But have you seen where the legislation has caused any serious change in behavior as we would hope?
All right. Well, when we go to our public expos and our regular exhibitions, we find that when persons come to the booth, they are seeking knowledge. They want to know more about the act, especially when it comes to the demerit points. Persons will ask, how many points will I lose? All of that, or how many points will I gain, because you actually gain points. So we usually correct them, and then they'll say, oh, but I don't want my license to get suspended, so I need to, like, they'll literally tell you when you talk to them, they'll tell you, oh, I need to ease off the gas them and I'm going to skate on the toll, and they'll tell you, because they don't want their license, because a lot of these road users or motorists, their driver's license is what they use to get their, to make their livelihood. So they'll tell you that. Also, we have seen a 10% reduction in road fatalities when compared to last year. When it comes to the crashes, the fatal crashes, we're seeing a 17% reduction. Over the weekend, we lost 9 persons. Actually, this morning when I looked at the report, 1 was added, so it's now 10 over the weekend. A motorcyclist in Clarendon was added to the fatalities for the weekend.
Well, Dante, thank you for the work that you do, and you know, we are here to also disseminate the information to our citizens that we can learn from other people's mistakes. If you hear that a particular stretch of road, Dennis, is a hot spot for accidents, or you know, said dear son, just slow down, take extra precaution when you are, you know, say when I used to drive like on a flat bridge, I come off the phone meter. I'm not talking to a soul. I am so focused and cautious because you want to be careful. When you reach on a certain stretch of road, you slow down extra, right, guys? It is better to be 10 minutes later in this world than 5 minutes early into the next. It doesn't make sense. And a lot of times, Dennis, where your speed I go, you're not going anywhere. You're done literally. You don't have an emergency, and you're not a shutter driver. as you think you are.
Exactly.
Okay? Please.
Lewis Hamilton,
right?
you're not.
And the most important thing too is when you do reckless driving, careless driving, and negligent driving, you also put other innocent people's lives at risk for dead left for them family, right? So please, guys, let us all learn now. Let us do better and try to be a crash-free Jamaica. Our wonderful guest this morning has been Dante Matthews, Education and Information Officer at the Island Traffic Authority. The Dead Left series, hello. If you don't hear, you're going to feel. It's right up after this. Take heed.
Protecting Jamaica's borders is a key priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. The JCA will remain vigilant and resolute in effectively fulfilling this mandate. The time brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 7:15 a.m.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Protect yourself from the bite of this mosquito.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The internationally acclaimed Onstage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Look who we have in the cut. No, today episode I got nice. Legends, Senator, my longtime brethren, the great all-star, the king, and the man himself. Salute! You know, as man, we're not to go as specialists, and that's the pinnacle of the problem.
We want some new era.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life. Lie!
You work till a week.
It was pandemonium.
Country people can relate to me, I talk about. What you think about me no matter, you know. What matter to me is what me think about myself.
Man United, I don't care what man want to say.
You know, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, man. You finished?
Yes, we finished.
The Cut is brought to you by Flow.
John Mike! Celine, where you going? We can't say we're a friend now. Celine. We have to take on the road.
Yeah, man, we have to take on the same way. All right, Lord, thank you so much for this day.
Me, I do the work. Yeah. And the people, them accept it. Clarendon, Mandeville. But now we get to go into the inner city of Kingston.
I can't wait to learn more as we go across Jamaica into different churches to understand what they do.
Welcome to the Administrator General's Department. You may sit. How can I assist you?
My child's father recently died and he will never leave a will. We have a 16-year-old son together in dead left. Houses, cars and money. And I can't access it.
Okay. Alright. So to begin with, you need to complete this form by answering all the questions, providing as much information as you can about the deceased, his assets, his family. Upon completing the form, you are to sign here before a justice of the peace and return it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So, On returning with the form, you will bring the death certificate for the deceased, the birth certificate for your son. If you are married, you will bring a marriage certificate. Or if you're a common law spouse, a spousal order, along with proof of the assets listed on the form.
I particularly love this series, and I know you will too, and you will find it very, very informative. It's now time to step into another segment of Dead Left. It's the Dead Left series, and this is an ongoing series where we will be learning about the role of the AGD and what goes into the process of the administration of estates following the passing of a homeowner. Administrator General and a CEO in the Administrator General's Department, Stacey-Ann Carty, joins us again this morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Nothing look dead left, but you're alive and well. We're grieving with you. Oh my God. But Stacey, a lot of persons have been, talking about, say, boy, Miss Kitty will love this. And I'm like, we didn't even start good yet. But I love the fact that we have piqued their interest. And so that is really good. And so I want persons to learn, right? Because when you have knowledge, you can execute properly.
Exactly.
So this morning now, Stacey, we're talking about reporting
a death
to the AGD,
so
right?
What's a proper way to go through and let the AGD know that someone has passed and they do have assets?
Yes. Okay. So firstly, anybody can report a death. It can be a person's family member, it can be a church sister, it can be a neighbor. Anybody can report a death. It doesn't matter who it is. You don't have to be related. So you don't have
proximity?
No, anybody.
Why have they? Why is that by design?
Yes, because people with proximity might have an interest not to report it, right? So really, however the information comes to us, the important thing is that we know so that we can start what we need to do. So you don't just take up the phone and call us or send us an email, though. You actually have to complete a form. It's called a form of particulars, and it's either at our office at 42 Union Street, that's the NHT building in Mobay, or at 12 Ocean Boulevard in Kingston. And it's on the website as well. And you just download the form and fill it out. Now the form asks your entire life story. When you were born, what is your name, your mother's name, your father's name, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle? Where did you live when you died? Did you die as a result of an accident? What is your NIS? What is your TRN? Did you have any assets? Like, did you have a bank account? Did you have your employer didn't pay you all your salary? Did you have a house? Did you have a firearm? Whatever it is, we need to know. And then what happens is that the person who is telling us, whoever it is, because remember, it can be anybody, will sign it in the presence of a justice of the peace.
Right.
And the reason for that is that it is a declaration. So we're trying to ease out the mischief makers. Because if it is that you have lied, we could actually take you to court because you'd have lied on a declaration. So it's a very important document, but it also gives us a good starting point. As you can imagine, we don't know most of the people who die, so we don't know where to start with the investigation. But when that form comes to us, we can know what you left, where do we write to, who do we contact so that we can get the assets.
It sounds like it's very important for someone to dutifully, carefully fill out these documents. Like you need to take your time and do it properly. So yes, anyone can do it, but anyone can do it.
So that's an excellent question, Dennis. The truth is, few people are going to know everything we're asking for.
Exactly.
But we don't need to have one form. We could get 15 forms for one person, and then we piece it together. So you work with Kitty, and so you know that her employer is CVM, right? I might have gone to school with her, and I know her mother's name. So everybody comes with a different piece of the puzzle, and then we put it all together to say, this is the story of Stacey.
But what if, for example, the detail of the form, some people say, that's too much information for really write down, or I don't know how to do it on my own. Is there anybody, or are there people at the AGD who will actually sit down with you and go through with you?
Actually, the person who had the green shirts on in customer service is our customer service officer, Mr. Morris.
Hi, Mr. Morris.
Yes, he's a star. He's won the customer service awards many times over. And he has been there for over 20 years. When you know what you know, you know what you know. And he knows it very well, very compassionate, very caring. And he will walk you through if you're unable to write. Not everybody is literate. We can help you to complete the form. If you can't sign, you do your X before the JP. So it's not excluding anybody. Anybody anybody can come and complete the form. The other thing that we need is documents. So you said the person died, but we need a little proof. We can't just take your word that the person
so what do you
has
need,
died.
a death certificate?
A death certificate is the best thing. We could have a burial order because depending on when you come, the death certificate, the pink slip, you're in the know. Yes, the death certificate may not yet be ready for a variety of reasons. It might be that the person died yesterday, 2 days ago, it's not ready. It might be that the person died in a shootout or something that needs to have a coroner's inquest. So that's going to take a while. Not a problem, because we will still start our duty. We let you do what you call an affidavit in proof of death. Again, it might sound complicated, but we will help you through the process to complete any document that you need.
One of the things, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, so after that process, so we filled out the form, we got all the information together, we got all the necessary, documents, supporting documents. What's next?
So one other document that we need, as you talk about proof of assets, proof of death, proof of relationship. So if it is that you're saying you're a spouse, we need to have the marriage certificate. If you do not have a marriage certificate because you have been living together, we need to have a declaration of spouseship. We might say this every week, but it's so important. It's the nature of our family structure in Jamaica that not everyone is married. And so persons need to know. So we might repeat it, a little patience. So just wanted to seep in the power of repetition. And also, if you are a child, either the birth certificate or if your father's name is, it never have an issue with the mother.
Yes,
so
on the birth certificate.
On the birth certificate.
Yes.
So if your father's name is not on your birth certificate, you have to go to court. It's a declaration of paternity. So once we have all those things, we start our machinery internally. So we have to write to all the financial institutions to say, Stacey Ann Carty has died, this is her TRN, this is her NIS, search your system and let me know if she has an account with you. Because the truth is, we're going to write to all of them. You may have reported one, but you, as you said, you don't know the person's entire life story.
The person might have tucked something away somewhere.
And Jamaicans are secretive, they don't want you into the belly of their business. So you're going to know a little piece, and you know a little piece, so we're trying to put the pieces together. And so we write to every financial institution, every insurance company. Did they have an insurance policy with you? Does it fall to the estate? We go to the National Land Agency, search to see if there's any land. So we do a clean sweep to see if there are any assets at all.
Scour the place. Is there a cost to all of this, Stacey?
So the costs are on the back end. There's no upfront cost. And so the cost is a percentage of what the estate is valued at. So we determine that at the end, yes. So there is, and it's not arbitrary. Everything in our office, you will notice from the series, has a piece of legislation behind it. And so we have a fee schedule that Parliament has enacted to say, this is what you can charge for. If it's not in the fee schedule, we cannot charge for it. And actually, as we speak, we are reducing our fees. It's going to Parliament very shortly because we have to make sure that we're not overcharging.
It's not prohibitive for
correct.
One of the things that I found interesting is that I'm going to reinforce the importance of justices of the peace in our society. They play an important role. They have a purpose in this process because you want to secure the integrity of the process. And you would hope that persons would have access to justices of the peace, that they might be able to go to them, because is it just the declaration that they take?
Two things. We understand the importance, and we also understand that although we are trying to widen access, not everybody knows a JP. So we have JPs in-house.
Good, okay.
So if it is that you don't know one, we can provide one for you in-house as well. If you're overseas, because the diaspora is huge, and persons have assets here, and persons do die overseas with assets here, they can use a notary public to notarize their form. But we do have quite a bit of persons coming from overseas to do the administration of estates as well.
So don't be afraid, guys. And remember, we did it some time ago, Dennis, that JPs are not to be charging to sign any documents at all. And if any JP is charging, you need to report them, okay? But as Stacey is saying this morning, there's no barrier. Just come in to the AGD, talk to them. There is somebody to help you, and they're more than willing to do so and to get this process on the way.
Help them put the puzzle together.
Lovely.
Indeed.
Nice. Thank you, Stacey.
Well, our guest has been Stacey Ann Carty, the Administrator General herself, the CEO in the Administrator General's Department. Coming up next, it's going to be time for When I Grow Up. You don't want to miss this one. More Sunrise after these.
employers and householders. Access the Heart NSTA Trust Skills Registry today to employ trained and certified skilled professionals. The time by Heart is
7:30.
The internationally acclaimed Onstage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVM TV.
Look who we have in the cut. No, today episode I got nice. Legends, Senator, my longtime brethren, the great all-star, the king, and the man himself. Salute! You know, as man, we're not too go specialist, and that's the pinnacle of the problem.
We want some new era.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life. Lie!
You work till a week.
It was pandemonium. Country people can relate to me, I talk about.
What you think about me no matter, you know. What matter to me is what me think about myself.
Man United, I don't care what man want to say.
You know, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, man.
You finished? Yes, we finished.
The Cut is brought to you by Flow.
You know we had to do this one. Welcome back to Sunrise. This week's career highlight features a very important institution of our society. Corporal Shanika Murray, a distinguished member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, since 2014. She's here, and whether responding to emergencies or engaging with the community or working behind the scenes in communications or singing on behalf of the organization.
Or asking me to push my trolley out of the way at Price Smart.
Corporal Murray she plays a vital role in ensuring a safer and well-informed environment for everyone. Welcome to Sunrise, Corporal Shanika Murray. Also joining her are her students, Tadia K. Thomas, Sapphire Campbell, Zuri Green. Welcome to Sunrise.
Welcome, everybody. How are ya?
We are well. Good morning. Say good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. So, you have some questions for me this morning, and I'm going to tell you a little about myself before you give me those questions, right? So, I joined the Constabulary Force 2014. And you want to know something else? Yes? I'm also a trained teacher. So, I'm a police officer and I'm a teacher as well, right? So, I do several things outside of the police force. What's your first question?
What inspired you to become a police officer?
Well, I really wanted to serve people. I love children, I love the elderly, and so I believe that Jamaica can be a better place if I gave an input. And so the best way to do that was to join the Jamaica Constabulary Force. My next question.
What kind of training did you have to do to become a police officer?
Oh, wow, that's a big one. All right, so I had to train for 6 months at the National Police College of Jamaica, formerly the Jamaica Police Academy. So we do a lot of things there. We learn how to utilize batons, firearms, pepper spray, things like that. And we also exercised a lot. Got it?
Yeah.
All right, next person.
What happens if you have to do a chase or deal with a dangerous situation?
Oh Lord, these questions are tough. Town is normally very, full of traffic and people passing through. So if I have to chase someone, the first rule of engagement is to ensure that you have a partner nearby. So we have this thing in the force where we say one police doesn't work. So you have to have your partners and you have to assess the situation. So you don't just take it head on by yourself. All right? That answers it for you? Okay.
What is the hardest part of your job?
The hardest part of my job is actually detecting crime. So every day when persons are on the road, things happen, but if you are not intelligent enough or my training doesn't kick in, I would be unable to detect crime or detect criminals, right? So bad men, thieves, murderers, that's the hardest part, to deal with those persons. And my final question.
How do you stay safe when you're out on duty?
All right. So my final question is hard. And I want to say to you that staying safe is important. So how I stay safe, and we have something else that we say in the force, we're never really off duty. So a police officer is never really off duty. We just go home, but we're still on duty, right? So if I'm going home and there's an accident on the road, you know that it is still my duty to stop, even though I'm off the clock per se, and I'll have to assist those persons. So how I stay safe is that I'll have to assess the situation. So if I realize that there are too many persons or these persons might be bad men, I don't take that on by myself. I call the entity or the division that we call police emergency. Have you ever heard about that? Kind of. Right. So I would have to call to get what we call backup, and then I can deal with the situation. Yes?
How do you do your teacher job if you mostly do your police job?
All right. So I teach outside of policing part-time. So whenever I get holiday or I take vacation leave, I do a bit of teaching at that time. That is it for me. Go ahead.
What inspired you to be a teacher?
All right. So when I was growing up, my mother was not able to do a lot of things for us, and my teachers were very instrumental in my upbringing. And so that is how I became a teacher, because I wanted to share. It's always hard. It's always hard.
I like that.
Well,
one more question from
she
you.
asked, is it hard to be a police officer? And Auntie says it's always hard to be a police officer.
Trust me.
But guys, let me say congratulations. These questions are so
they were
intelligent.
very, very good questions.
But let me ask you guys, do you know what's the number to call the police? What's the number?
119.
119. 119. That's right. Yes, sir.
Yes.
What do you do at a meeting?
What do I do at a meeting? It depends on the meeting.
It depends on the meeting.
What type of meeting are you thinking about?
Police one?
Bless
the
you.
Police one?
A police meeting?
A police meeting, we speak about things that will help us to make the country better as it relates to crime.
Does anybody here want to be a police officer? Yeah?
Yes?
He's asked so many questions because he's so interested.
Yeah.
I want to be a garbage man.
Why?
Because I want to help keep the ocean clean, the road clean, so like no cars get off track.
I agree.
So you want to keep the roads clean. That's very nice.
All
right. One more from you.
And I also want
to
help keep the world clean.
Beautiful. I like that.
When I go over to other countries with my children, when I grow up, I'm still keeping my job. And also when I go over and I find a garbage truck, I'm gonna ask the garbage man if I can use it to clean.
Okay. So we're going to allow them to start.
We're going to continue this conversation in the break because
these new kids,
they have lots of views about the issues in the world.
I got to tell you, fertilizer at their foot.
All right, our guests have been
but
students.
Thank you, Auntie.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you so very much.
Thank
and
you
to
so
all the
very
members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, a pleasant morning to you all. Please.
Say, I hope you have a great day. And I hope you like to interview. Bye.
All right, there you go. Today, Kate Thomas, Sapphire Campbell, Zuri Green, Rashani Reeves, and Jamar Davis, our amazing teacher as well, Corporal Shanika Maurice. This has been, of course, When I Grow Up. Stay tuned. Sunrise comes up after the break.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is 7:45.
Attention motorists, it's time to switch to the T-Tag on Highway 2000 East West. The T-Tag system reduces the amount of cash handled at our toll plazas and makes it safer for our staff and motorists at the toll booths. The T-Tag makes it quicker, more cost-efficient and safer for our customers. So switch to the T-Tag today and experience the convenience. T-Tag packages are discounted to only $1,500, including a $500 toll credit from now until September 30.
Rise and shine and start your day with the Wealthy Club's Power Hour. It's a transformative mind-body workout infused with strength training, yoga, meditation, and journaling. Every Wednesday from 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Starting September 11th, join us for free live in person right here at the marketplace in front of Camila's Kitchen, or you can join in from anywhere in the world thanks to our friends over at Just Create. And afterwards, refuel with your post-workout breakfast from Camila's Kitchen to truly support your wellness and your fitness goals. Catch us for this special workout hour on CVM TV on Mondays from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. and a repeat at 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Wellfit Wednesdays starting September 11th at 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. right here at the marketplace. See you there.
No more fear of missing out. CVM TV News is on YouTube. Get up-to-date news, sports, and business content at CVM TV News anytime, anywhere. Subscribe now to CVM TV News to see it happen.
Celine, what going? You can't say we're a friend now. Celine. We have to take on the road.
Yeah, man, we have to take out the same way. All right, Lord, thank you so much for this day.
Me, I do the work. Yeah. And the people them accept it. Clarendon, Mandeville. But now we get to go into the inner city of Kingston.
I can't wait to learn more as we go across Jamaica into different churches to understand what they do.
Goes crazy when you take the list of time. Let's explore our love. We'll leave the world behind. Can you feel me?
It's schoolboy football, September 7 to December 14 on CVM TV.
Look who we have in the cut. No, today episode I got nice. Legends, Senator, my longtime brethren, the great all-star, the king, and the man himself. Salute! You know, as man, we're not to go as specialists, and that's the pinnacle of the problem.
We want some new era.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life. You lie.
You work till you win.
It was pandemonium. Country people can't relate to me I talk about.
What you think about me no matter, you know. What matter to me is what me think about myself.
Man United, I don't care what man want to say.
You know, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, man. You finished?
Yes, we finished.
The Cut is brought to you by Flow.
Welcome back to Sunrise. If you're just joining, you're in time for Free Zone.
Can somebody send some breakfast over here? Thank you. I'd appreciate it in the free zone. Some breakfast.
Like a food competition,
in this game.
That's what I'm talking about, like bagel and cream cheese with some smoked marlin. Anybody with some hot chocolate? Yeah.
Order in the court. Order in the court. You're in time for Free Zone in this game. Our hosts will try to get their partner to guess the code word or phrase using one-word clues. So listen to instructions, because we're not going over it, All right. So each player takes turns giving a single word hint that can be accompanied by either an action or a sound, anything that will help you, And the goal is to help the partner.
An action or a sound. So you get a word, an action, a sound. That's 3 different things, A whole heap of things,
Yeah, then we are trying to help you win.
Oh,
We're helping you to win. The partner guesses the word, right? So correctly, you get 2 points. And
who want food?
Who's keeping track? Who's keeping track?
I'm just saying, what are the gifts? We're not playing these games if we're not getting nothing started.
I quit. I quit.
I want to be a garbage.
All right, let's go. So you can't use any part of the word. Look how I'm going to explain it, and then you're not going to cheat and say, no, that's not the rules. Listen to the rules. The word itself, you can't use any part of the word.
We play Pictionary and we play charades.
You can't use any part of the word itself or related form of it. All the codes will fall under the theme. All things Jamaican. All right, so let's go.
Wow. Okay, all right.
We have Team Mrs. Kitty and Abby. We have Team Dennis and Paul.
Okay.
So who wants to give the first clue? Who is giving?
We go. We lead.
No, well, I need one person from each side to tell me. You are giving?
Yes.
All right. You can. This is the clue. You cannot say these words as a clue.
And these are the
clues. With me?
Yeah.
You have to go down.
Yeah.
And go. One word only. Let's see. Watch out. My eyes shut.
Snow.
Bobsled team, Jamaica.
Incorrect.
She said it!
But you said the wrong answer first.
You know that, but you get a chance. You see, these are the things. Black people.
Yeah, give her time.
Says one chance to get alone.
Yes, you only get one chance to guess.
Okay.
All right, that was the guess. That was the trial.
Yeah.
That was the trial. Who is giving?
So hold on. So me get a trial too.
Yeah. This is a trial. This is a trial.
Dennis, why you want to size us?
I'm just asking.
You saw how
I'm a civilian.
To establish the principle.
I'm a civilian, Dennis.
Because that a one, that a one. Come now.
Who's gonna give the clue? Dennis is giving. All right, so Dennis, we are go, sir. All right. So this is what you can't use these words. With me? This is what you want him to guess. But you cannot use these words to help him. No clues.
Can I tell him how many words is in the thing that he?
No, you can only say one word right now, and or give an action or a sound. Go.
Buying and selling.
That's not one word.
He said
that's not one word.
This is the trial anyway, guys. Remember?
Okay.
Yeah. One word.
Not that word.
You would like to remind yourself what you cannot say? Okay, go.
Selling.
Market.
Okay, that's incorrect.
You see it there? You see it there?
That was a trial though. What's the real thing now?
So hold on.
It's already. Now you have to. You are giving Abby. So Abby is now the same clue. Same clue. Ready? This is what you're trying to get her to say, but you cannot use these words. One word only or a sound. Okay. Or action.
What's the style? Yeah.
Carnation market.
Carnation market.
Yeah, but but she benefited from.
Yes, that's the point. But then if they had you know what? Let's go. Who is giving the next?
She benefited from him saying,
yes, that's how it goes. Yeah, that's
why they never benefit from the box.
Because she ended up getting it quote unquote right because she said the answer. It was supposed to pass. She said the answer. We didn't get to pass. Let's go to the next clue. Who is going to give the next clue? Who is giving? Who is giving? Who is giving? This side?
Me, I'll go again.
Okay, all right. Abby's going.
No. It's now Kitty's turn to give.
She just gave because it passed over here. You're Dennis and not stress me out. All right, so ready? All right, so this is the word code. Can't say this. And go. One word or action or sound.
Rasta.
No, sorry, I lost. What?
Rasta.
Bob Marley.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is correct.
Yes.
That is your time to give. One more. Ready?
This is the stupidest free zone.
You know what?
Like God,
we're not liking your spirit.
That's all the time we have for the show.
No, that's one more. Ready?
That's the coolest free zone ever.
Why?
This one.
This feels like a poor game.
You cannot say this, cannot say this, and cannot say this. And you would like the card? Here you go.
TK.
One word. Mr. Souls. Mr. Souls. All right? One word only and go.
Right now. I want to make
Oh, wow.
Ghost.
All right? You see I'm missing a clue? No, you can't get it over. Ready? Who is your time to give?
Oh, I don't even know.
Oh, wow. So I didn't even
There's something strange in the neighborhood.
This is a word. You can't say these words. Somebody not Dennis screaming out a word that's on the banned words. He can say a word, you know. Remember, he can say a word. One word.
Oh my Lord. I would say. No. You know, say you have a perfect.
You know what I'm saying?
No. Look at Abby.
What's that?
Monster is incorrect. You know what? The answer is ghost.
But Dennis get it right.
Hold on.
No, the answer was dumpy. Sorry, the answer is dumpy. You see, when all confuse me.
It's dumpy.
This is the worst.
I was gonna say rolling calf, but I don't know.
This is the worst. Thankfully, that's all the time we have for the show for today. Up until Free Zone, it was a great show. Up until Free Zone, it was brilliantly conceptualized.
Dennis said game.
No.